Okay, kids, hang on to your seats because today we're going to do positive, also known as affirmative, two commands. Now, what is a command? Well, just like in English, a command is when you tell someone how to do something. It's when you're saying to someone, sit down, have something to eat, go outside, go do this, do that. Okay? The two commands, as you guys know, the difference between to and usted is that to is informal, what you use amongst your friends and people your own age, and the usted is more formal. Okay? Two commands is what we're going to work on today. So this is pretty common, is what you use amongst your friends. Usted commands you will see more in terms of street signs, telling you to yield or stop or doing other such things because it's a little bit more formal. So, the important thing to remember is when you do command forms, it's not a conjugation. And sometimes you'll see these also called the imperative form, okay? Because it's imperative that you do something. So it's a command, it's imperative. So here's how we conjugate it, okay? I want you to think back to the present tense, okay? Let's take hablar, for example, okay? I want you to think back to the present tense, nice and easy. Back in Spanish 1, hablo, hablas, habla. And that's the one that we're going to take. We're going to take the third person singular of the verb. And that's it. That's all you have to do. So if you want to tell your dog, this is you, and here's your dog. Not exactly the best here. A little smiley face on him. Okay. You want to say, speak. You'd say, habla. And he will reply, wow. That's a fun fact. That's what dogs say in Spanish. They say wow. They don't say arf or bark. Okay? So, moving along. If we were to do an Ir or Ir verb, like comer, it would just be come. If we were to do vivir, it would just be vive. It's as easy as that. Okay? I don't really know when you would use the command form of live, maybe if you're working as an EMT, but that's where we would use the command forms for the two forms, okay? Very, very, very simple, okay? Now, I don't want you to get confused by the fact that they are the two commands, okay? Now, you know, of course, nothing in Spanish can be just that easy. So you know there have to be irregulars. So here are the irregular two commands. Okay? I'm going to give you a little acronym that I love to use with the kids. I think you're going to like it. It's called, I call it, ven, di, sal, has, ten, ve, pons. Okay? So if you think of Vin Diesel and you say, think back to the action films, and we say ven, which is venir, di, which is decir, sal, which is salir, as, which is hacer, ten, which is tener, ve, which is ir, pon, which is poner, and se, which is ser, which you know is almost always irregular. So, just to go through that again, ven is venir, to come, you know that. So if you want to tell somebody to come here, say ven aquí, ven. Di, again, is decir. So if you want to tell somebody, tell me, to say or to tell, you'd say dime. Sal, which is salir, so if there's some unwanted person around there, you can tell them to leave. As, which is hacer. So if you want to break out your Arnold voice and say, do it now. To do, or to make. Then we have tener, which is to have, you know that. Then we have ve, which is ir. Then we have pon, which is poner. So if you tell somebody to put it there, or set the table, pon la mesa. And lastly, we have ser, okay? To be, like to be good. That's how you would use that. You can say be good, like E.T. says. Okay? And there are our irregulars. So again, just to review, take the third person singular from the present tense, so habla, come, vive, unless it is Vin Diesel has 10 weapons. So ven, di, sal, as, ten, ve, pon, and se. And the very last thing that I want to show you guys with this is that you can also use these with object pronouns. Okay? Remember object pronouns? It's exactly what it sounds like. It's an object pronoun. Me, te, lo, or la, nos, os. You know what? Let's do these in a different color so that it looks better. I'd rather do that. So, let's do these in our happy blue here. Me, te, lo, la, nos, os, los, and las. So, hopefully you guys got a good grasp of these last year. I know a lot of kids usually don't. Commands are used a lot, as you can imagine, with object pronouns. So, for example, I had given you dime. So, di, like to say, tell me. And what you do is, it looks like dime, I know. What you're doing is you're just literally attaching this object pronoun over to here, over to the command. And it's all one word, it's all attached, and you just say, dime, tell me. If you want to say, tell it to me, we would say, dímelo. Okay? Now, obviously we added too many syllables here, and if you remember my rule of pronunciation, it's usually that we stress which syllable? Oh, not that one. Which syllable do we usually stress? That's right, we usually stress the second to last syllable, unless there's an accent mark. And because before we added this, we were saying dime, now we're saying dímelo. We don't want to say dímelo, so we need to add an accent to that. Okay, and I'm going to teach you a little trick. Okay, it's very, very simple. All you do is count 3 vowels in. Ready? Count with me. 1 vowel, 2 vowels, 3 vowels. Let's throw an accent mark on there. Okay, dímelo. I deliberately did those in the same color too, because so this way here you can see you add this, you add the accent. So if you add 2 of these, if you add 2 of the object pronouns, add the accent mark. So dímelo. Okay? That's a perfect example. I'll give you guys some more examples of this in class. Actually, let's do one more. Let's do one more. Suppose I wanted to tell you to do your homework. I was getting very adamant about it. I said, do it. I'd say as, okay, which is hacer. So regular, let's remember that. It's the as and Vin Diesel has 10 weapons. And I wanted to say lo, hazlo. Okay? It's literally as simple as that. So hopefully that explains the two commands, the irregulars and the object pronouns to you. And if you have any questions, feel free to talk to me later. Bye-bye.